There are three main reasons why I stopped actively investing my money right now. First has to do with taxes. Second has to do with growth of my money and everything going on in the economy. And third has to do with my purpose. Let me start by talking about number one with taxes. When I or you or anybody invests their money in stocks or real estate, you have to invest with after-tax dollars. So the way that looks like is this. If I make $1 million, the first thing I gotta do on this $1 million, if it's my profit, the money going into my personal bank account, is I gotta pay taxes. The government wants to get their fair share. If you make $1 million, that means you're gonna have about $500,000 going to taxes, which leaves me with about $500,000 to invest. Now, when it comes to my personal finances, my income has been increasing over the last number of years, which means I have more taxes every time I have a bigger profit. Every time I take more money out, put it in my personal bank account, I pay more money in taxes. But this is a lot of money going to taxes. I mean, if I could take this extra $500,000 and invest that, well, then I could see a bigger return on my money just because I have more money being invested. But if I invest my money in stocks or real estate, I have to invest that money with after-tax dollars. But what if there was a way for me to invest my money with pre-tax dollars? Now, you might be thinking, well, what if you do an IRA or a 401k? But that's not really the solution that I'm looking for. I'm not a huge fan of those government-sponsored retirement plans. They're great for the average investor, but it's not for me. The second issue that I'm looking at is growth of my money, because when I invest my money in the stock market or the real estate market, I am looking for a 7 to 10% average return on my money. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna see a 7 to 10% return every single year. Some years will be more, some years will be less, but on average, most stock market and real estate investors are looking for an average 7 to 10% return on their money. But if you have a business or you have something that you're creating yourself, then the returns can be a lot more. That's why you see a lot of startup companies looking for much bigger returns. They're looking for 20% or 200% returns on their growth. So now the question starts to develop. How can I invest more of my money by having less of my money go to taxes while seeing bigger growth on my money? And this brings me to 3, while fulfilling and living my purpose. If tomorrow I go onto the stock market and I invest in a company like maybe Tesla, or if I invested in Amazon, or if I invested in Lululemon, then my goal there is solely just to see a return on my money. I'm not really living some sort of purpose. I'm not really benefiting the world by investing my money here. Obviously, I'm investing myself. I'm trying to get a better return from me so I can take better care of my family, so I can take better care of my community. But it's not really filling any sort of purpose for me. So now I'm asking myself these questions and I'm trying to figure out, is there something better for me? Now, I like investing my money in real estate. I like investing my money in the stock market, but I'm looking for something a little bit better. Is there something that'll give me better tax advantages? Is there something that'll give me better growth of my money? And is there something that will allow me to fulfill my purpose even better? And that's when I realized that there's no better investment than me. You might remember earlier in 2022, I talked about how I was separating my companies from Minority Mindset. Minority Mindset became me, and then I separated out my companies like Market Briefs and Market Insiders. Market Briefs is my financial newsletter company where every day my team is working to help break down the top finance and business news into a fun and witty and easy to read email that you can read in less than 5 minutes every morning. Our readers love waking up to Market Briefs and reading Market Briefs every morning. And so now I'm thinking, what can I do to help live my purpose, to help get better growth on my money, and to help maybe potentially avoid some of this money in taxes while doing all these things at the same time? And so naturally for me, it made sense to go all in into Market Briefs and start investing more of my money there, because that will help serve my purpose. It could give me better growth on my money, and I can invest more of my money, which means I would have a potentially lower tax bill because taxes are on your income. If I make a profit, I have to pay taxes on the profit, but if I have no profit, then I don't have to pay any taxes. And the way that I can have more profit is if I invest more aggressively in the company. I pay many hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in taxes, and sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating because I can see what I could do with that money in my pocket. Like earlier this year, my accountant calls me up and he says, "Hey Jaspreet, how you doing?" I said, "Good." He said, "Oh, by the way, I need you to send $100,000 to the IRS by tomorrow morning." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Sorry, yeah, we messed something up. Looks like you need to do another $100,000. Please send it in today. That way they can have it in by tomorrow morning so you don't have to worry about paying any extra fines." By the way, that's one of the reasons why I fired my old accountant and hired a new one. Now, I'm thinking that's a lot of money. $100,000 could buy me a lot of different things. I mean, we can get better furniture for the office. We can hire another employee or two. We can do a lot more things to help grow the company. We can invest in more advertising. But the reason why I have to pay all this money in taxes is because, well, I have big profits at the end of the year. Now, that's a good problem to have, but if I'm trying to really fulfill my purpose of spreading financial awareness, spreading financial education, making finance and financial education more accessible, I could be investing more of my money, which means I make a smaller profit. It means I make less money, but if I invest more of my money back into the company, but invest it back into market briefs, then I could live my purpose even more. I can help market briefs grow even faster. I can serve more people. I can help more people. I can help spread this financial awareness, and more of my money is now being used to do that instead of just sitting in my bank account. And that means, yeah, I'm gonna have less money to go out and invest in more real estate. I'll have less money to go out and invest in stocks. I'll have less money to go out and just do things on my own personal life, but it will allow me to serve my purpose even better. And then if we talk just about the financial side, because this is a financial channel, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If I invest more of my money into market briefs, also the goal is to see a financial return, because market briefs is a company. And if I'm investing more of my money into market briefs, I'm hoping that I'll see much more than a 7 to 10% return on my money over the long term. But of course, it's riskier. There's a chance that the company will not work. Now, I'm going to be doing everything that I can to make sure that this company is the best, that this company grows very quickly, that this company can serve more people. I mean, the way that we grow as a company is by providing more value, by serving more people, and by giving you the resources to be better with your money. When I started Minority Mindset, I didn't know what I was doing. I never had the intention of making money with Minority Mindset. This was something that I did as a hobby because I got scammed on another business that I was working on. So I just started making videos because I wanted to help people not fall into the same traps that I made when I was starting a business and trying to learn about money, because nobody supported me. I never grew up learning about money. I never grew up learning about investing. I never grew up learning about financial education. I never grew up learning about wealth. And so that always really affected me because I was so upset that I went through so much schooling. I mean, I went through college, I went through grad school, I went through law school, never once learned a thing about how to use my money to become wealthy. Yet wealthy people are not looking at the world the same way as regular people. Wealthy people don't go to school to get a job. That way they can just climb the corporate ladder. Wealthy people understand that, yeah, if I want to go get a job, it's so I can own the corporate ladder, not just to climb the corporate ladder. And when I started to understand more of these things, I got really upset. And then I started making these videos on Minority Mindset just as a hobby because I had no one else to talk to about it. I didn't even know how to turn on advertisements when I first started Minority Mindset. And then we started to grow. And now I have the opportunity to use Minority Mindset to help grow some of my other platforms. And it is really important to me to help spread this financial awareness because this is something that I never grew up with. It's something that I know millions and millions of people need. And so this gives me the opportunity to now invest more of my money into my passion, something that I really believe that the world needs more of, while seeing hopefully more returns. Now the returns only come is if we serve the purpose, but the purpose is what really drives me. I mean, after a certain point, more money doesn't make that much of a difference, but for me, it's really all about serving that purpose, helping people, because I get excited by it. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, right? Solving problems, building things gets me really excited. My team thinks I'm so weird for it because anytime I come up with a new idea or we come up with a new brainstorming strategy, we come up with a new solution to some of our problems, I get riled up and I'm excited to do it. Now, of course, more money can always buy you more things, but I'm not a super materialistic person. I like nice things, I like having luxury, but I don't necessarily need it. Like, I still drive a $500 car. So let me show you kind of what this looks like financially. If I make $1 million profit, then I have to pay $500,000 in taxes, which leaves me with $500,000, and then most of that money would probably be invested into real estate or stocks or whatever it might be. But now, if I take all this $1 million and I invest it back into the company, maybe I hire more employees, or maybe I invest in advertising, or we invest in a new marketing strategy or branding, or we invest in a better office. If we invest in these things and then I have a $0 profit, well, now I invested all $1 million. I have a $0 tax bill because I invested all my money. I don't have any money in my bank account. And now I can use this money to help live my purpose because now I have a better team, I have better things to help grow the business and the brand and the purpose that I'm trying to work on. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide that goes over what passive income is, how to start generating passive income, and different passive income strategies. These are things that you can start doing even if you don't have a lot of money. So if you want to read this free guide on how to start generating passive income for free, all you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.